You're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now there's a lot happening in the world of social media and more. Now who better bring us all that information with a lot of accuracy? She's standing by. Olamide Odekunle, looking really beautiful in that black. I know there is a lot happening on social media, so I'll just tell you, take it away.
Thank you, Ms. Ria Abdul. Not as beautiful as you. Now, nobody is seeing this, but you guys, Ibrahim has turned a new leaf since fasting started. I love this new man standing before me, Ibrahim. Mashallah, as we go into this new this segment. Good morning, Nigeria. Like I always say, TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, my wonderful team and I do our best to bring you some of the trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. Well, this morning, attention is still focused on a case that has shaken many people online. The viral and harrowing allegations made by TikToker Mirabel, who says that she was brutally sexually assaulted in her apartment by an unidentified man. Authorities are now stepping in. The Lagos State Police Command says this case has been transferred to its gender unit for investigation, while the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency says it is now working to reach the survivor and provide her with immediate support. In a new development, Mirabel has now posted another video confirming that she was rescued by her friends after attempting to take her own life by ingesting poison, and she's since been taken to a hospital. This is what she had to say.
I'm getting better. I can't talk properly. I'm in chest bone. I took sniper yesterday, and my friend came back and saw me at the backyard and took me to the hospital. I thank you for everybody that's been trying to reach out to me, the people that have been calling me, but my phone is on DND and all the texts that I've received. But I am so sorry. I'm not in the position to reply.
As agencies restate the state's zero-tolerance stance on sexual violence and appeal for credible information on this case, many Nigerians and women are now watching closely, asking whether this case will lead to the kind of justice that survivors often wait a bit too long to see. Let's have a look at what you had to say about this on social media. Banabi says, teach your sons that no means no. Teach your sons basic life skills. Teach your sons to respect everybody, irrespective of their gender. Teach your sons that violence should always be the last result. Teach your sons to use their strengths wisely and protect themselves.
This story is a little bit concerning to me. Number one, the crime happened in her home. You know, I mean, that's where everybody believes that he or she is safe, I'm home, and things are okay. And somebody comes into your home and attacks you sexually. It is crazy. But another thing I'm looking at is, I thought another person would have done this post, not her, not Mirabel herself. You know, especially the one where she said she tried to commit suicide and her friends had to rush her to hospital. Yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm just happy that the police is getting involved, because that's the most important thing. You know, just have the police come into it. When these people come out and say, you know, this has happened to them, oftentimes they do not get justice. So I'm happy that the Nigerian police is now putting things in place to make sure that, you know, the person that did this crime to this young lady would definitely face the full weight of the law. I'm happy that all her friends have rallied around her at this point, because she needs all the love and support that she can get, just knowing that, you know, she was trying to take her life, you know. So I'm just praying that the police will get into this. And I sent her a message yesterday. Hopefully, you know, we'll have a one-on-one conversation with her on TVC.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's quite interesting to see that, you know, there are different sides to this particular incident. Some people are believing, they believe that, yes, what happened, and others are already thinking, you know, different lights, saying something else actually happened. Maybe she's trying to create content or anything. But it's good that the Lagos State government is looking into this, and the investigation has to be properly done, because if it turns out to be a lie, I'm not saying it is, but if it turns out to not be true, that it's just for content's sake, then that might be very, very dangerous for the women folk, because if anything happens, going forward, people will be like, they're just creating content, which should not be so. But all the same, sorry, young lady, we hope that you get justice.
Absolutely. Indeed, team, this case is really telling us how we treat victims and how we treat rape allegations in general. I'm happy that the Lagos DVSA has now gotten involved. We're following this case closely, and hopefully the truth will come to light. Thank you so much for your input. And moving on into the world of health, a video posted by a Nigerian doctor is drawing a lot of attention online, and it's offering us a raw look at the reality behind Nigeria's growing medical workforce shortage. Now, in this viral clip, the doctor quietly shows the conditions she's working under in a government hospital, appearing to be the only doctor on duty. You can see how they're moving from emergencies to routine care to other areas of the hospital with little or no backup. For many viewers who saw this video is, of course, becoming a very powerful snapshot of Nigeria's medical brain drain, as trained health professionals continue to leave in search of better working conditions, pay, and functional healthcare infrastructure abroad. It's also a reminder that while some doctors leave our country, others stay, carrying an entire system on their shoulders. Interesting. Let's have a look at social media. You saw that a girl there navigates several hospital units single-handedly. ISIP says, one doctor working 24 hours non-stop in a hospital? This is not right. Our doctors need help and proper support. Nigeria, we can't keep ignoring this. They are risking their lives for us. Ekipaba says, the funny thing about this facility is that someone somewhere will be collecting the salaries for the healthcare workers who should have been employed to work in this hospital. Team, several times on Newspaper Review, even as important interviews on here, we've discussed the medical brain drain currently going on in Nigeria, and now we're seeing first-hand realities of some doctors. She's a worker in a government hospital, as you saw her navigate several wards on her own. But this is not an isolated incident. There are several healthcare workers going through this same ordeal day in, day out, overworked, understaffed.
On this issue, we might just be sounding like a broken record. We just need to improve the welfare of our doctors, improve their salaries, their welfare, the kind of risk they take. They are frontline health workers. That means communicable diseases. They are prone to, they are exposed to it. No matter what they do to prevent it, it might just slip in. The dangers that they face every day they go to work is so much, and the way the government, our government, takes care of them, it leaves a lot to be desired. But for medical doctors having long hours, that happens everywhere. It happens in the US, in Britain, everywhere. Medical doctors at times have very long hours to work. But in this kind of condition, why won't a doctor forget scissors in somebody's stomach after surgery?
Well, that's not a reason whatsoever. When you're tired and you feel like you're drained, you cannot operate anybody. That's not a reason to leave something in someone's body.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
But on a lighter note, this is something that we see all the time. And we know that the president has been, trying to look into the healthcare system. I'm just hoping that it's something that will be done very swift and fast, because we cannot continue losing our very good hands. We know how important it is. We know what these doctors do. They are the first hand, to make sure that people are safe. So I feel like they need to be treated well. Our president has been doing a lot, but of course more can be done. It's sad to see that she was just the only one there. Our doctors that are leaving, if you leave, please try to come back. At the end of the day, wherever you are is not home. Nigeria will always be your home.
Sometimes it's always very difficult to react to some videos that have been reviewed, incidents that have been reviewed, reduced to just few seconds or few minutes, not minding what had happened behind, in between, and all of that. But we need to also know which hospital is that. Is it a general hospital? Is it a public hospital? Is it a private one? Is it primary health care, government hospital? So where exactly is it situated? And then Why is it that we had only one doctor, doing 24 hours? Is it the same thing for other doctors, that when she's on leave or she's she's not on duty, and that doctor comes and works 24 hours? It is not so nice. But as you said, Ria, I think yesterday the president, alongside, the ministers and some of the others, they also talk about the issue of health, introducing different policies and all of that. And we've been doing so much when it comes to the health sector, but more needs to be done.
Absolutely. That headline that our producers put up there is very apt. What happens when one doctor becomes an entire hospital? Thank you so much for your input, team. This story is very feel-good. Sometimes opportunity doesn't arrive through connections. Sometimes it starts simply with consistency. And for Nigerian content creator John Ava, it started with simple cooking videos that he recorded in his village kitchen. And those videos slowly built him an audience and then built him attention, first from online viewers and then from high-profile figures, and most recently from music star Davido, in a moment that quickly went viral. That moment has now opened an even bigger door. John Ava, also known as Dadim, was recently invited to cook at the prestigious Echo Hotels and Suites, where he debuted his signature coconut pasta dish as part of the hotel's 50th anniversary celebrations, presenting his work to executives and international chefs. But stories like this are becoming more common in Nigeria's digital economy, where talent, visibility, and persistence can sometimes change a life faster than the traditional pathways that you and I are used to. I'm sure if you're watching this video now, you've seen this man online. He's basically blown, and all from just cooking in his kitchen. Very interesting. Let's have a look at social media. Lydia says this opportunity is not just about Jaskaro cooking. It's about representation. It's about every young local talent who dares to believe that their gift can make room for them. Thank you, Echo Hotels, for seeing value in homegrown excellence and giving Jaskaro a platform this big. Echo Hotel, you didn't just host Jaskaro and his team. You honored their journey from Isoko to the big stage. Amadi Esquire says, this life no get manual at all. I'm so happy for this guy. From nothing to something, from 0 to 100. His life is a testament of not looking down on anyone because no one knows what tomorrow beholds us. Now, Tim, I don't know if I can do this on air, but I will. I don't know if you've heard this song, Etoma. I will praise you, Daddy. I will praise you. That is the song he plays in every single video, and now he's gone viral. But as usual, I want to take an intellectual standpoint. What does this tell us about the digital economy? It tells us that young people are increasingly, becoming global superstars and having access and economic equity just by posting videos online. This is simply amazing.
Yes, the technology, gives you exposure and all that, but the real power is consistency. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Somebody will notice. Echo Hotel has noticed, look at that him, he's not a big boy.
I told my Sims, you know him very well, the way you pronounce the name.
We all know him.
But for me, I'm like, even with consistency, somebody has to spot you. And that's always been my prayer. I pray to God, let that person, see what you're doing and just say, let me put you in the limelight. And that's what Davido did. If Davido had not invited him, cooked for him and all of that, we maybe wouldn't have seen this. So Davido is that helping ground that helped the world to see him at a larger stage. So we also need to give Davido accolades for that. This is a beautiful one. I'm really happy for him. Whatever you're doing, whether you are laughing, you are crying, you're cooking, just do it well. Because you never know when God is sending an helper. God cannot come from heaven to the ground, but he will send somebody, to help. And that's what Davido was. So, big congratulations to him. I want to see him open a restaurant. When you have all this momentum, do not just let it fly down like that. At this point, try to see what you can do. If you want to open a restaurant, if you want to be a chef, use this, publicity you have, use it very well.
That's what we mean when we say opportunity meets preparation. I mean, preparation meets opportunity. And that's a good one. When you do something and you feel like no one is looking at you, you keep doing it because you're convinced, and that's where passion comes in. I just love doing it, and those who see you for what you do, they will appreciate you, and then they will take you to that high pedestal. We say congratulations to you, young man, and then thank you, Echo Hotels. I think one of these days I'll have the benefit of tasting from that cuisine.
Absolutely. Okay. I have to say this, team. I will praise you, Daddy. I will praise you, Papa. Thank you for your input. But moving on to more serious matters. A deeply emotional story is circulating online after a young boy was found mysteriously along the Kaduna-Abuja corridor following what has been described as 2 years in captivity after he was kidnapped. Now, this boy was reportedly found while traveling with other passengers towards Kenyi, which is a town along the Koi-Abuja road in Kaduna State. And according to reports that he gave bystanders, he was kidnapped 2 years ago alongside his father and his siblings. Unfortunately, his father and elder brother were reportedly killed while they were in captivity, but he is said to have been released on Saturday and sent away by his captors. Have a look at this short clip.
Just tell us your full name. Ogu Ifeanyi Chukwu. Can you spell it? Wait, I'm coming.
For many of us, this story has reopened painful concerns about insecurity along major highways, routes that are relied on daily by families, workers, students, and children, like you saw in that video. And I think talking about stories like this, we have to remember that every single security statistic, there's a family that has been affected, a journey that's been interrupted, and a life that's been forever changed. Let's have a look at social media. I'll take 2 tweets. Evans FX says, you took a boy and his parents and siblings. You took their life while he watched, broke his mental state, destroyed his childhood, took away his life, and then sent him back to the society with a damaged soul, heart, and pain. Great Daniels corroborated this. He says, from the name, this is the son of an Nsukka man by name Dr. Ifeanyi Ogbu, that his body was found along Kubwa Expressway. And in the news, it was said that his children were also kidnapped from their home in Kubwa, Abuja. It might be the same person. Team, we often talk about insecurity. We tell stories all the time about, states and communities going through insecurity, but we're now seeing an individual who is a beneficiary, for lack of a better term, of insecurity. He's been in captivity for 2 years, and when they play that video, you see just how emaciated and disorientated he was. This is the human face of terrorism.
That guy, that young boy, needs urgent medical attention first. He needs urgent medical attention, at least for his physical well-being. I don't want to go into how fragmented his mental state is with the experiences he must have had during captivity. When things like this come out, it now shows us that this insecurity we are talking about is not just gist. It is something that is very serious. Imagine a young man that was kidnapped with his siblings and parents, and one by one, the rest are taken out. How? Why did you send him out? This is the height of callousness.
You say it's just until it happens to you. So this is a very, very sad one, Oftentimes, like I used to say, we used to report the stories, you report it, but for the people that it has happened to directly, they actually feel, the pain. Of course, like Thomas said, we need to check his mental health to be sure that he's even fine, mentally. Just look at the way he's turned to. Was he eating? Where was he? There's so many questions that he needs to be asked. But first of all, he needs to be taken to the hospital. It's a very sad one. And Nigeria, we continue to fight against insecurity and terrorism. I'm just hoping that we finally put all this to an end.
It needs serious rehabilitation beyond, medical attention and all of that. This guy's mental state has been, destroyed, for its entirety. And we believe that the government has seen this video, so whoever is going to help him, they should help this young man because he really needs help.
If we couldn't prevent what happened to him, at the very least, we should protect him now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.